In November 1920, the small town of OCOEE was the site of the worst Election Day violence in American history. Weeks before the election, Ku Klux Klan members held rallies and sent threatening letters to white OCOEE leaders who registered black residents to vote. The Klan promised, "We shall always enjoy white supremacy in this country, and he who interferes must face the consequences."
This is OCOEE, and this is the hallowed ground cemetery, which contains the bodies of at least 300 people, black people, who died during the OCOEE massacre. Most of them burned to death beyond recognition, so they were put in mass graves in this spot and until recently forgotten about.
The massacre was sparked by two African-American men who went to the polls to vote. It was about voting rights.
There was good reason for white men to be afraid about blacks voting, because it would change the balance of power in the South.
And so Mose Norman and July Perry were refused the right to vote.
A mob comes to July Perry's home, surround his home, trying to find out what was going on and to bring him out to punish him for attempting to vote. And they killed two of their numbers through friendly fire, and it gets blamed on July Perry. There were headlines all over the country: 2 white men killed in OCOEE, blacks rioting in OCOEE.
It remains unclear to this day who killed those 2 white men, but those headlines about the death of whites at July Perry's home, diminishing the racial terror in that black community, those headlines would have repercussions both then and now.
He was arrested and brought into Orlando, where the Orange County Jail is. The mob followed him and took him out of the jail and hung him and left his body hanging for days as intimidation, so that other African Americans who would contemplate voting in Orange County would see what would happen.
And a lot of what the Klan was trying to do, the KKK was trying to do, was to suppress the vote by using violence. And normally it worked. It worked pretty well here.
The black death toll from that day is now incalculable. The remaining black population in OCOEE plummeted after the massacre, and the events of November 1920 were largely forgotten, until now.